Well, I'm going to do a part 2 to this, and simply because I really want to express the totality of what I mean, what needs to be said, what needs to be spoken. So, bear with me. So, this is in reference to realizing that there's no capricious God that is going to pop out of the sky. There's no event that's going to occur that's going to radically alter your life and your experience. That you need to come to a place of not depression. That's the most important thing. But the reality of the situation is that this skin ain't going to get more elastic, right? These teeth aren't going to get white by themselves and fix themselves. That the tally of a life where you are constantly put in a jeopardizing position and ultimately walking through the valley of death, that now that process has come to a head, and that it is expecting you to exit. You're no longer welcome. You watch the people parading around you, quite intentionally being rewarded, merited with false ideologies and misbehavior. You watched yourself become corrupted. And in the end, and this is, I think what everybody's experiencing is that they've come to a place where they undeniably, inevitably, unquestionably reached an endpoint. Be yourself, be your best self, but how much of you actually exists? This is something that they can debate. This is something that they can comb over. This is something that they do. When I say they, I'm talking about the Satanists. I'm talking about these Operation Gladio 1001 Club. I mean, you name it. There's so many names. There's too many names. The fact that it even exists at all and it's allowed to go on in any way. It was an item where a Welton Shong Krieg had to disprove itself. It had to show that in its parallax quasi-presence, it actually didn't exist at all. And it wants to break free from reality. And it wants to consume you and take you with it. And it has created a false version of you and tried to successfully many times, tried to superimpose itself over the reality of what you are when you are alive. And you know that you're alive, and you know that you're not being permitted to exist here, nor have you ever. That is real. It's not in your head. It's not in your mind. But it is in a quasi pseudo state of a pervading mind that doesn't exist, but it proclaims its existence more profound, so that it is demanding the cart before the horse, a lie before the truth, that it exists prior to, before, as a master link above all others. The rejected, the spoiled, the entitled, the erred have demanded their way, forked off a chain of reality, and demanded that they are the predecessors to a new reality, and they refute the prior notions of a pure existence or a pure reality. And those of us who ultimately realized through all the fatalistic outcomes in our lives that it is purity that we choose, it is only purity that we want to live in, and if that means annihilation on every level, Only the best parts of us, the pure parts, if there is any, should survive. And so in this, we show reverence to the pure sun, not a Lucifer, not a Columbia, not a Statue of Liberty, not any satanic notions, not pride, none of that. None of the things that come falsely after anti-principles or principalities. So we need to understand that this big event is the big event that we are being forced into, and that World War II was a telegraphing of current times and events that was heavily adhered to and absorbed until we live in the amalgamation, the deception, and it is a very complex computational system. In the end, you have this bifurcation of an AI intelligence that is split against itself so diametrically that it has infused within reality two opposing worlds that cannot coexist. But in the center, there is a moment and a junction point that we might esteem as whatever existence from our perspective may be. I think we grandly, boldly, and assumably go about using terminologies because we don't have the higher true form of that expression available to us. And I think in the end, everything here lays false.